Although I'm about 20 years too old, today I'm going to a pop concert. Although it's not actually until the evening, which means we've got a day free to explore the very underrated city of Perm. Although Perm is a city of more than 1 million people, it doesn't really get talked about much, certainly not in comparison to other million-plus cities not too far away like Yekaterinburg and Kazan. I don't know why, because I've been to Perm 3 or 4 times and I really like the city. Unlike the other 2 cities I just mentioned, Perm didn't host the World Cup, so perhaps it didn't get swanked up quite as much, but a couple of years ago it celebrated its 300th birthday, so the city got quite a renovation then. There's elections coming up soon, and it seems like the Communist Party is trying to get back in power again. As you'd expect from any big city in Russia, there's still loads of cool Soviet stuff around. There's actually 4 of those red and white bad boys in a row. We can see 3 of them there. So I just coincidentally came across one of the tram depots. Another cool thing about Perm is it does have its own tram. Maybe we'll try and take a ride on one later. Like any big city in Russia, Perm's got its fair share of industry as well. I'm now in the area where the concert will take place tonight, and it's one of my favourite parts of the city actually. It's all classic Stalinist architecture here. There's obviously an area built up after the war, and the actual event tonight is taking place in the Culture Palace behind me. Certainly hope it's as cool on the inside as it is on the outside. I guess we'll find out later, won't we? This large building took 12 years to build and was completed in 1952. Obviously there's a good reason why it took 12 years to build, because it started in 1940 and in Russia the Second World War broke out in 1941. So obviously it would have been paused for 4 or 5 years or whatever, and then started up again after the war. So let me say a few words about why I've come to this concert in Perm, and maybe tell you a little bit about the singer as well. I think it's fair to say that most Russian singers are not very well known outside of Russia. But Dima Bilan, he is quite well known because he took part in the Eurovision Song Contest not once but twice. Now, I'm sure that most of you are far too sensible to get involved with any of that nonsense. Actually, he didn't just take part in it. In 2006 he came second, and in 2008 he actually won it. Well, those were the days, weren't they, when Russia could take part in international events and there wasn't all the anti-Russian stuff going on and people didn't hate Russia. Seems a long time ago now. Well, I guess it was a long time ago. But in those days Russia could guarantee its 12 points from the Ukraine and the Baltics. For the record, although his winning song in 2008 was in Russian, his song in 2006, which came second, that was in English. Although I'm certainly not any kind of super fan or anything, I quite like Dima Bilan. I think he's seems to be a good man, and he's done some good tunes over the years. And actually, he was one of the first singers I knew in Russia, because he broke through in sort of the early 2000s when I first started coming to the region. So me and him are exactly the same age. I can't actually tell you anything about Dima Bilan because I don't really know anything about him. Like I said, I'm not really a fan or something. To be honest, the main reason I'm coming to the concert today is because, to cut a long story short, I was here in October anyway and he was playing, so I thought, okay, I'll give me something to do one evening, go to his concert, and then he got ill, which happens, especially when they do these long tours, so the concert got cancelled, and that's why I'm here today, which explains for you, in case you're wondering, why I'm doing a 15-hour round trip to see someone I'm not that into. But that's why. It's not just me being a nutter. So yeah, the original concert being postponed is a bit of a nuisance to me, because of course I don't live in Perm. So I've had to spend quite a bit of time and money coming to it today. And that involved getting a night train last night, well, for half the night. So I mean, I've only had about 3 or 4 hours sleep, so I'm sort of walking around like a sleep-deprived zombie today, so you'll probably get even less sense out of me than normal. And I mean, that's saying something, isn't it? I know. And then straight after the concert tonight, guess what? Back on the night train in the direction of Yekaterinburg for another pretty sleepless night. But never mind, we do these things when we're young and stupid, don't we? Okay, I'm not young anymore, but I'm still stupid. Opposite where the concert will be tonight is the sports complex, and the good thing about it is it's still pretty old school, as you can see. Another cool thing about this stadium is that it's built on quite a steep slope. That's the scoreboard there, but you can see quite steep. Last time I was in the city there was a match going on, so I popped along to it, and I thought I'd be crafty and save myself a £1 note and watch it from the hill outside the stadium. You get just as good a view, you can see 80% of the pitch. As part of the sports complex, they've got a swimming pool behind me, and it's got a Soviet era stained glass window covering the whole length of the swimming pool, so almost 50 metres long. Last time I came here, I went for a swim in there and I took a photo. It's just as well I did take a photo so you can see it, because as with all stained glass windows, it's got to be seen from the inside. Now, do you guys want to see something pretty cool? Of course you do. Who doesn't like seeing cool stuff? Perm has certainly got some cool Stalinist architecture all around the city. So behind me is my favourite shop in the whole city. Do you want to have a little look inside? Technically speaking, it's a second-hand bookshop, and the great thing is that next door there's a cafe which celebrates the TV serial Friends, so you can leave your missus in there and go and have fun buying Soviet stuff, because what wife or girlfriend doesn't love Friends? So last time I came in here I spent 3 hours in here, but I haven't got the time for that today, so I have to be on a time budget. Perm is famous for its mini books. Oh, music sheets down there, up here, maps, certificates, you name it, they've got it here. So here's one of my favourite sections, Soviet postcards. I normally go through all those boxes. That's my seat there. I sit there and go through them. Oh, so it might only be a little shop, but there's loads of stuff in there. I mean, you guys didn't see the half of it for time reasons, but yeah, if ever you're in Perm, well worth checking that place out. It's actually on Yekaterinskaya Street, 84, in the city centre. So if I wasn't being so hardcore and doing 2 night trains in a row, if I needed a hotel in the city, then this would be where I could stay tonight. In fact, I did stay here my very first visit to the city 10 years ago. As you can see, it's big, it's brash, it's bold, and it's bad. But good bad, I mean. Every town square in Russia has a local administration building. This one in Perm, I think, has to be one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. Oh my goodness, if you thought you saw a cool ceiling in asbestos, then check this. That is cool. And on the other side, got one with more of a military theme. I'm not quite so keen on the military ones, but still, it's a good piece of art, got to appreciate it. Yeah, it's pretty cool in here, guys. quick whiz break. So far so good. It was 20 minutes late starting, but I think that was deliberate, just to build up a bit of tension and a bit of suspense, so that when he came out everyone was going kind of crazy. So yeah, let's get back inside. Don't want to miss all the fun.
Все готов делить, с тобой я пополам. Ты только мне поверь, я сделал выбор сам. Дай же мне последний шанс. Да просто знай, у меня внутри я покажу.
So that's pretty cool. I've not been to a concert for a long time and hardly ever go to a pop concert, but it's good to try something different. And actually, I mean, it's about at least 95% chicks in here. So any single guys who want a girlfriend, well then my advice to you is to come to a Dima Bilan concert.